Gears of War, guys, is looking to be, as we approach, the future of, the gaming industry. Gears of War is looking and setting its eye towards what looks to be a potential Gears of War collection, a Gears 6. A Gears of War movie is being rumored to be in development as well. And obviously, those things have been confirmed by Rod Ferguson, who was the former studio head over at the Coalition. And now he is currently working with Blizzard on the new Diablo title. But he had confirmed when he was the studio head at the Coalition that a Gears 6, a Gears 7, as well as a Gears of War movie were all confirmed. And so this leads me to, obviously, there's a lot of talk that we're going to be seeing from the Xbox showcase or Xbox, from E3 this year, that there's going to be a number of things announced within the Gears of War franchise. One would potentially be a Gears of War collection or a Phoenix collection, which could be a remaster in a number of different ways. There could be a Gears 6, obviously, teaser trailer, as well as the Coalition's working on a brand new IP altogether. So there's a number of things that they could be announcing here. We may even see a trailer from the movie that is being made by Universal. So there's so much to be excited about with Gears of War. But, one of the things, guys, that, obviously we talk on the YouTube channel about, the esports realm quite a bit as well. And with Gears of War, this is an esport that I think is really special. It's a very niche kind of esport that I think has been on the cusp to become a very big esport at some point or another. We know that Gears Esports, it started off as a, very, small, but it grew over time. And it started with the game mode Execution, which is very similar to like Search and Destroy with Call of Duty or like what CSGO is. And it's changed now to Escalation, which I love Escalation. I think it's awesome, but part of me feels that they need to go back to Execution. It's just a little bit easier to follow for, from an audience perspective. There's not as much going on. It's pretty basic. It's like you get one life per round. There's power weapons on the map, so on and so forth. And you get one life each round. So I feel that that is a way in which they can improve Gears Esports moving forward. I've always said that, Call of Duty was a title, as well as Gears of War, were both titles that there was a ton of trash talk in the esports scene. There was so much trash talk between the players, and it created so many narratives and a lot of drama in those esports. And I think it's actually a really good thing for the esports as a whole. But, I feel like Call of Duty, they were trying to go in this direction of making it more of like an NFL or an NBA, instead of it being more like a WWE, which is what I think that Call of Duty needed to be, was like the WWE, like this trash talk and all of that was so great. And I think the same thing with Gears of War. But with Gears, I felt like certain things and certain elements needed to be toned down slightly. Obviously, not everyone, if you have, little kids, you're probably not going to let your kids watch Gears Esports because of the grittiness, the maturity level that is Gears Esports. And part of me feels that it needs to be toned down a little bit in order for it to be accepted by all audiences. And I'm not saying, guys, it has to go to, PG from an R rating, but I'm saying that I feel that there's a perfect happy medium there that could, similar to like Call of Duty, it definitely can have that grittiness and some of that gore and such, but I feel that there's ways that they could create a narrative around Gears Esports moving forward that is a little bit more lighthearted instead of so dark, because obviously, and we know that with all esports, they're all different in a number of ways, and Gears obviously has this very dark, mature tone to it. But I think moving forward, if you want it to be something that becomes more mainstream, and, a lot of other people are talking about in such, kind of like the Call of Duty League and Overwatch and all these other titles that are coming out, I think they need to do a couple of those things. First, kind of switching it up, go into Execution as the main game mode, maybe having Escalation as a game mode that they could play, here and there. But I feel like having the rotation being mainly Execution and then Escalation as a backup. Call of Duty has, of course, Hardpoint and then Search and Destroy. They have a few game modes that they rotate around. Maybe doing something like that with Gears Esports would be smart. Now, Glassy, I know you don't watch a lot of esports, but what are some things that you feel could be implemented into Gear 6 that you feel could be, really beneficial to the franchise, but also could, really expand the franchise, like get more viewers? I mean, I've talked a lot on the YouTube channel about free to play multiplayer. I believe you and we talked about this, in the last, episode of the show together. What are some things though that you feel that they could improve upon with Gear 6 and just the franchise as a whole to become more mainstream and not this niche game?
So one thing that I think is that it's unfortunate, but Gears really has fallen behind over the years. Now, 10 years ago, Gears of War and Call of Duty and Halo, they were the top three. They were the biggest three for people to want to play. But over the years, Call of Duty has really, really pulled ahead. Halo, they took kind of a dip because they had such a long phase, and then Halo 5 wasn't the greatest. But then with Halo Infinite coming back, I mean, they just shot straight up to the moon. So Halo is back on par with Call of Duty. They're not as popular as Call of Duty yet because they don't have this giant open world, 150 people playing, but they do have big team, and that's cool. But I think they're really going to have to do some pushing for Gears to come back. Now, one thing I know Gears is excellent at is they are completely amazing at their story mode. Their graphics, their story, their gameplay is beautiful, and it's almost artwork. But their online mode, it's I remember it back in the day. It was cool, but it got mundane after a while. So I feel like Gears of War is really going to have to do some pushing to really even come back from the graves as far as they've gotten. I'm not saying that they're not bad. I still love it, but it's not what it used to be.
No, and you're right. I have been very, very critical of the Gears of War community. I have always felt that the Gears community has really hurt the game. And I'm not saying I'm not going to put it all on the community. I'm not going to put it all on the coalition though either. I think that there's kind of a happy medium that has to be made there. See, whenever an update would come out for Gears, let's just say the most recent title, Gears 5, anytime there's an update or something that happens, there is a large percentage of the Gears community just goes after the coalition about every little thing that they do. Now, we see this, guys, in other games. We see it in Call of Duty. We see it in Halo. We see it in Valorant. We see it in all these games. But these other titles have much bigger fan bases. So let's just say, Call of Duty comes out with something and not everybody likes it. They're going to voice their opinion. Those people will. But it's still able to sustain a certain level because there's so many, the community is just so much bigger. When you have a group or a percentage of the community that is constantly going after in a ruthless manner towards the coalition or the development team, doesn't matter what game it is, and you got a big percentage of it and it's more of a niche game, it is going to hurt the title for the long withstanding future if it continues. And it's been something that has been happening. I've been noticing it since Gears of War 3, which, guys, I just think that is something that needs to change in a major way moving forward. Because if I'm working at the coalition and I'm putting all that time, effort into updates, things of that nature, whatever it is, obviously, when I'm getting blasted on Twitter, from people from the community because there's something or another that may or may not have been in my control when an update comes out or new skins come out or whatever comes out, I'm going to be pretty demotivated to be working on the title. And, obviously, you're going to have some praise from some of the community, but if you got a big portion of the community that is just incredibly negative, it's not good for a title. And then on top of that, when you have a bunch of the people in the esports scene are moving over to Halo and Call of Duty because the esports scene's not paying as much money and things of that nature, that can really hurt as well because we need those personalities in the Gears of War community to help continue pushing it forward. So I'm concerned about it, guys. Obviously, I think that the community has to do a better job. I do think that there's things that the coalition can certainly be working on as well. But, we as a community really got to stick together with this thing. And, there's a way in which you can say something to a development team. You do not have to go blasting them on Twitter. You can just, kind of voice your opinion, but there's a way in which you say it, the way in which that you do it, that really makes a difference. But with that being said, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts, though, on ways that you think they could improve Gears Esports and just Gears of War as a franchise moving forward. Let us know in the comment section down below. And for more Gears Esports content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.